It starts with a question. The student asks a question to the teacher. We don't have the name of the student, but this starts with a question. And what an extraordinary question. I'll chant the original Sanskrit. It's beautiful to hear, maybe 4,000 years old. We don't know who is asking this question. But what a beautiful question. Today we are asking it in the 21st century. Beautiful question. Question. Keneshitam patati preshitam mana kena prana prathama praiti yuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti kaude deva Shrotram Chakshu Kaudeva Yunakti. The student asks that these thoughts which are coming in my mind, impelled by what? How do I have this experience of thinking? How do I have this experience of speaking? Of this breath that I draw in, that the eyes see, and with the ears I am hearing. These experiences which we are having right now. Remember, as I said, it starts with our daily experience. Not some extraordinary yogic vision of God. It starts with our daily experience. So these experiences we are having right now, how is it possible? What is giving rise? Of course, he's asking about conscious experience which we are having. What gives rise to this conscious first-person experience of seeing, of hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, of thinking and remembering and desiring and enjoying and suffering, of speaking, of this in-breath and the out-breath? What is this? How is this experience possible? Remember, he's asking one question. If you look at the question itself, he's not asking many questions. When he's asking, how do I see? He's not really asking about the mechanism of the eyes or the visual cortex or the optic nerves. No, he's not asking that. It's not a question about physiology. When he's asking, how do I think? It's not a question about psychology. All of this is one question alone. Otherwise, what would happen is, how do I see? You can say, go to the ophthalmologist. He will tell you how you see. How do I hear? And the eye, nose, throat doctor is there. Ear, nose, throat doctor, ENT doctor. They will tell you how you hear. How do I think? Go to the psychologist, psychiatrist. They will tell you how this thinking is going on. No. It's not about the mechanism of the body, of the senses, of the mind. It's not a physiological question. It's not a psychological question also. It's a question, one question only. A question about experience. First-person experience. Just the experience of life. When I say talk about your experience, what kind of experience are you having? And we will all say the same thing. When I'm seeing and I'm hearing, I touch and I smell and I think and I speak. I do some actions. I have an internal life of thoughts and feelings and memories. All of this is my experience of life. And the question is, how is it possible? And the way the student puts it, Kaudeva Yunakti, which shining being illumines all this, makes all this possible. The word Deva, it means div. The etymological root is from shining, div, to shine. Interesting, the light motive, it is throughout Vedanta, shining, revealing, illumining. The verses from the Isha Upanishad which Devalina chanted just now. You see, the sun, the shining disc, golden disc of the sun, light. In Vedanta, the light, it has a specific meaning. Anything that reveals anything which was in darkness, that which reveals is called light. So this room was in darkness, and then the lights came on. That's why we call it light, because what was in darkness was revealed by this light. So it's a light. But the light of these lights is our eyes, because if I don't keep my eyes open, I will not see no matter how many lights are lit up, are switched on. So our eyes reveal that light. And in that way, the senses are all lights. The ears are a kind of light, quote unquote, for sound. The nose is like a light for fragrance, the tongue for flavor, the skin for touch. Our language is a light. So these are all lights. And for all of these to function, our senses, our language, for all of them to function, you need one light behind all of them, which is the mind. Unless attention is there, my ears are open, sound is coming in. If I don't pay attention to it, I won't hear anything. If my mind is elsewhere. So the mind is the light of the senses. But consciousness is called in the Upanishads the light of lights. Again and again you get this kind of phrase. In fact, Sri Krishna uses this exact phrase in the Bhagavad Gita. Jyotisham api tad jyoti. It is the light of lights. What is he talking about? Consciousness. He's talking about you. So consciousness is the light of lights. In the Kena Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Shvetashvatara Upanishad, 3 Upanishads, the same mantra comes. Very sublime poetic mantra. Radatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagni tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Beautiful Sanskrit, what does it mean? That ultimate reality, it cannot be illumined by sunlight. It cannot be illumined by the moon, by the stars, or by lightning, or by our mere mortal fire. But that shining, all of these shine after it. By its light, everything here is lit up. That shining, that ultimate reality shining. What is that ultimate reality? Pure consciousness. Consciousness shining, everything else shines after it. By the light of consciousness, everything here is lit up. You shining, everything else shines after you. Everything else means consciousness shining, the mind shines. The mind shining, the senses are lit up. The senses being lit up, the world is revealed to you. And it is by the light of consciousness that alone everything is lit up here. Unless consciousness is there, thoughts won't be experienced. Unless the mind is there, the sensory inputs will not be experienced. Unless the sensory inputs are experienced, what you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, nothing will be experienced. So the light of lights is consciousness. All of this the student packs into one word. Kaudeva yunakti deva, shining being. So it is utterly holy, that which is shining in all of us. In the Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, Krishna uses as a beautiful verse, he uses this idea, light of lights. Jyotisham api tad jyoti tamasah paramuchyate jnanam geyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya dhishtitam. What does that mean? It is the light of lights, forever beyond darkness, forever beyond the darkness of sorrow, ignorance, unhappiness, restlessness, lack of fulfillment. There is a light beyond all of that. And it is knowledge. It makes all knowledge possible. And it is that which has to be known. Whatever we know is also that light. And how do you know it? Through knowledge. Jnanagamyam. Where do you find this amazing thing? In the hearts of all sentient beings. Hearts means in the minds of all sentient beings. Hridi sarvasya dhishtitam. Again, talking about consciousness. If the question is amazing, the question is amazing because we are still asking that question. But the answer is even more amazing and slightly mysterious. So let's look at the answer. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso mano yad vachoha vacham sau pranasya pranaha chakshushas chakshurati muchya dhira pretyasmad lokanamrita bhavanti. What did he say? You want to know how you are having the experience, how the ear is having the experience of hearing? Yes. It is because of the ear of the ear. How the mind has the experience of thinking? Yes. It's because of the mind of the mind. How the eyes are having the experience of seeing? By now the student is clever, so he would say, is it because of eye of the eye? Yes. Now why such peculiar language? What does the teacher mean? And why this language? A lot has been said here, if you unpack this. First, when he says ear of the ear, eye of the eye, the mind of the mind, what he means is, it's not the ear, it's not the eye. How are we having the experience of seeing? One answer could be, investigate the eyes, investigate the optic nerves, investigate, then you'll be led to the brain center. And all of these have been thoroughly investigated. Volumes and volumes of books, volumes and volumes of PhDs have been done on this. And a lot of knowledge has come. Still, we do not have an answer. How am I having the experience of seeing? Because the experience of seeing is not just the mechanism of the eyes and the lens and the optic nerves and the brain. It is also consciousness. Until we understand consciousness, we cannot answer adequately. How am I having the experience, the first person experience, the subjective experience of vision? If you study the lens, what will you find? A lens. You'll find in the eyeballs, blood vessels, capillaries, fine nerves extending back to the brain centers. That's what you'll find. You will not find vision. You will not find colors, the experience of seeing colors and shapes. You won't find that. You will find receptors for the various color frequencies. But the actual vivid experience we are having right now. There was a philosopher called Jackson. He has a thought experiment called Mary. Now imagine there's a person called Mary who has been in a room all her life from her childhood, black and white room. Everything in her room, her clothes, everything is black and white. She has never seen color. But she is an expert on the color red because she has read all the books and papers which have been written about the color red. She's a multiple PhD on red, but she has never seen a red color anywhere. Now, the experiment is like this. One day, imagine Mary steps out of that room and sees a red rose for the first time. Remember, she's an expert on red. Now, Jackson asks this question. The moment she sees the red rose for the first time in her life, now is she knowing something new? Is she seeing something new or not? We will say yes, she is seeing something new. Although she has all theoretical knowledge about red, but the experience of red is not the knowledge about red. So the experience which we are having, first person experience, cannot be explained without consciousness. So the first part of the answer, ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind, what is it saying? It's making a big claim. By knowing the physiology of the ears and the eyes, you cannot explain adequately the first person experience of vision or hearing. By studying psychology, you cannot explain adequately the first person experience of thinking, remembering, enjoying, suffering, forgetting. You cannot explain. So there is an objective side which you can study, but the subjective side will not be explained. So it is not the ear itself. The ear is important, not the ear itself. It's called the ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind, the tongue of the speech of the speech, like that. So that's the first point. It is something beyond these physiological or psychological systems. But second, so these are all positions which can be contested. And it has been. There was a very well-known mathematician, a scientist, Marvin Minsky. I never met him. He has passed away. He was in Harvard. Very well-known mathematician, and also in, I think, cybernetics or something, I forget. He was a big skeptic of these consciousness studies. His pushback, his objection was, there is no problem of consciousness. Just we have a problem of seeing, of hearing, of thinking. These are different problems. You put them in one basket and you're calling it problem of consciousness. There's no problem of consciousness. The Upanishadic view is, no, there is. There's an actual real thing called consciousness, which illumines all these. The second thing we get when we unpack that answer, ear of the ear. So it is something distinct from the ears, distinct from the eyes, distinct from the mind. Consciousness is distinct from all of them, separate. However, look, he could have said it's not the ears, it's something other than the ears, something other than the mind, something other than the eyes. But what does he say? It is the ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind. He's still using the word ear, eyes, mind. We're meaning thereby, although it is something distinct from the ears and the eyes and the mind and the tongue, it is something right there in the ears, eyes, mind and tongue, right there, which is implicit there, which is pervasive there, immanent in this physiology, in the psychology, right there, which is powering these experiences. I like the electricity example. Here is the light, which is illumining the hall. Here is the camera, which is taking pictures. Here's the microphone, which is amplifying sound. But when they were in the shop, before the school bought them and put them here, the light did not shine. The microphone did not amplify sound. The camera did not take pictures. The clock did not tell the time. They were all quiet. They didn't do anything. Then I can ask the question, what is it that got into them? What shining thing has gotten into them, which makes this light illumine the hall, which makes the camera take pictures, which makes this microphone amplify sound? What one thing? And we all know. You say, Swami, it's electricity. So there is something called electricity, which is distinct from the microphone, which is distinct from the camera, which is distinct from the light and the clock, but which has gotten into the microphone, into the camera, into the light and into the clock, and then making them do this diverse things that they are designed to do. Can I say then, electricity is the mic of the mic, the camera of the camera, the light of the light, and the clock of the clock in that language? So consciousness is again talking about consciousness. It is not only different from the body and mind, it's also pervading the body and mind and giving us various subjective experiences. The third thing we get from this answer, ear of the ear, eye of the eye, that consciousness is one, not many. That which is the ear of the ear is the same thing which is the eye of the eye, is the same thing which is the mind of the mind, is the same thing which is the speech of the speech, the breath of the breath. What is that thing? Consciousness. It's one thing. They are not diverse, different, separate entities present here. There is one answer to all these questions. All of this we get from that amazing phrasing, ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind. But then the teacher goes on further to say, this consciousness, if you realize, if you appreciate it, if you notice it, understand what it is. Atimuchya dhira pretyasmad lokad amrita bhavanti. The word atimuchya in Sanskrit is a powerful word. It means transcends. If you realize this one consciousness in this body-mind, what happens? You immediately transcend this body-mind. What does that mean? You realize, I am not the body. Just as if I am in a car, I am not the car. Nobody makes that mistake. If I am wearing these clothes, I am not these clothes. Even while I am in the car, even while I am in the clothes, I don't think I am these things. This is transcending. To transcend the body does not mean you will have some kind of out-of-body experience. What kind of experience will you have? This experience. This is the beauty of Advaita Vedanta. It explains spirituality in this experience which we are having. Not demanding that you have another extraordinary experience, which you may have, that will also be powered by the same consciousness. This is another amazing thing you see about Vedanta. Suppose whatever we are experiencing now, whatever we are seeing now, hearing, smelling, tasting, thinking, remembering, it's all because of consciousness, the light of the lights, which you are. Tomorrow, if you or I are lucky enough to see God, like Sri Ramakrishna, have a vision of Mahakali, of God in some form, it will still be that same consciousness which experiences. Can you experience God without consciousness? No. So Vedanta is interested in that consciousness which makes all of our experiences possible. Our mundane, our day-to-day experiences, pleasant and painful, and our peak experiences, our spiritual experiences, all experiences are made possible by this one consciousness. If you realize that, immediately the first thing will be atimutya, transcend. We realize, I am this light of lights, not this physical body. I am not even produced by the nervous system and brain. I am not even this mind, these thoughts and feelings and emotions and memories. That's what we identify ourselves most essentially with. If you ask the question, who am I? What am I? We immediately point, here, this is what I am. But this is the body. And say, no, I am not this body, I am embodied, I am here in this body. You are referring to the mind. thoughts, memories, ideas, the personality. But both of them are illumined and lit up by one light, that one consciousness. If I am that one light, then I cannot be the physical body, which is material, which keeps on changing. I cannot be the mind. And there are, to unpack that, how do you transcend? When you realize your consciousness, you realize you're not the body mind. How does that happen? And the whole range of arguments and insights, this is called in Vedanta, Atma Anatma Viveka. Those who have heard Vedanta talks, you will recall changing and unchanging, conscious and not conscious, the seer and the seen, Drig and Drishya, one and many, many arguments can be given. I know about 9 or 10 such arguments which can be provided to distinguish you, consciousness, from body-mind. But today I will give you one more, a powerful classical Vedantic argument, which I don't know for what reason I have never used earlier. But I'll give you this argument. It's a beautiful, elegant argument, but please follow. It's based on the 3 states of waking, dreaming, being. What are we trying to do? Atimuchya, transcend. How do I know that I am not the body-mind? I am, but I am not the body-mind. Although the body and mind are there. How do I know? This method is called in Sanskrit Anvaya Vyatireka, method of agreement and difference. We find in many Vedanta texts. It goes like this. 2 things are one or they are related if they always go together. But they are not related, they are not one, they are independent, they are discrete, they are separate if you can have one without the other. If 2 things are always together, you can never find them separately. Agreement, this is there, this is there, this is there, this is also there. All the time, never possible to separate them. Then they must be related in some way. They may even be identical to each other. They may be connected to each other. But if you can show one without the other, and the other without the one, even when they're together, you know they're not the same. One nice example is this lovely old person, grandfather or grandmother. When you go to them, they have a nice bright smile. But you have this question, do those teeth belong to him or not? And one day you go at night suddenly to his room and he's sitting there and he gives you a nice toothless grin. And the teeth are sitting in the bowl there, separately. Then you realize, although I always see the teeth in the mouth of that person, the teeth are separate from this person, from the body. They're 2 separate things. They are often seen together, but they are not connected as such. They're independent and separate. So method of agreement in difference. Can I see the teeth without the grandfather? Can I see grandfather without the teeth? Then they are not one and the same. If they were natural, you couldn't see them separately. Always have to go together. Now using that example, grandfather and teeth example, let's apply it to ourselves. If I can demonstrate that I can exist without the body, then you will agree, you will be convinced, or you will feel compelled to take this seriously, that I am not literally the body. But for that, I have to see, I have to experience myself without the body. I exist, but the body is not there. Then only. Otherwise, I'm always seeing myself with the body. If you keep saying, no, consciousness is not generated by the body, but always, whenever I'm conscious, body is there. So, can I experience myself without the body? And even more subtle and more difficult, you say, I am not the mind. But whenever I am, wherever I am, the mind is always working. By mind, I mean thoughts, ideas, emotions, identity, personality, all of it. I will show you now. I will show you yourself without the body and without the mind. Then you will see, oh, I see what you mean. Then they are not one and the same. They are not connected to each other. So the method of the 3 states goes like this. In the waking state, right now, we have an experience of ourselves, and that experience includes the body. Here is the body. And when I look inwards in my experience, I have the mind, thoughts, ideas, memories, plans, projects. Body and mind are there. And I, the sense of self, whatever it is, it's also there. I'm here. And of course I experience the mind. And of course I experience the body. But the moment I fall asleep, and I go into the world of dreams, There also in the dreams, something is happening. There is a place which I see, there are people whom I see, some kind of narrative is going on, some kind of experience is going on, and I am also there in my own dream. I'm there. Now, this body, which is there, which is sleeping on the bed, but that body sleeping on the bed is not part of my sense of self in the dream. I'll repeat that. In the dream, when I'm experiencing the dream, the way I experience myself, this body, it's not the body sleeping on the bed. It's a body created, projected by the dreaming mind. Now, what's your point here? My point here, if you ask? My point is this. We can continue to have a sense of self without the body tagging along all the time in our own experience, subjectively, phenomenologically. My sense of self continues even when I'm not experiencing this body. Grandfather is there without the teeth. Grandfather in the dream, teeth on the bed, lying and sleeping. In that case, I and the body need not be literally the same. I can continue to experience the body. You might doubt here, you say that's subjectively, but you, the subjective person, is being generated by the body, the brain. Hard problem of consciousness. 25 years passed. No, you still have not been able to demonstrate. Oh, by the way, not only it was not demonstrated, I met Professor Christoph Koch, very eminent, distinguished gentleman. I had long talks with him just last year in Venice in a conference. And he told me until recently he was a materialist with regard to brain and consciousness. He said, no, I'm no longer a materialist about it. He said, not that I'm accepting your Vedantic view or your Buddhist view, but no, I'm open to it now. I am no longer claiming that it can be explained by the brain. Who is saying this? One of the leading neuroscientists of the whole world right now today. That's where we are at today. He's very open about it now. So, I have an experience of myself without the physical body. And it will not do to say the immediate answer which a physicalist will have, a materialist will have. No matter what you experience, you are being generated by the brain. No, then you have to demonstrate. And it's become enormously difficult to demonstrate with the help of modern science that the brain is generating consciousness. You can't. You cannot. Because of the hard problem of consciousness. All right, go further. Deep sleep. According to Vedanta, deep sleep is not an absence of experience, it's an experience of absence. Same consciousness. You're experiencing the absence of objects. Nothing is there, just consciousness. What is deep sleep? General idea of deep sleep is there is no consciousness. We are unconscious. The Vedantic idea of deep sleep is that there is only consciousness there. But there is nothing to be conscious about. Nothing to be conscious of. Because the body is sleeping, we don't experience the world or the body. Because the mind has gone to sleep, we don't experience dreams. No external world experience, no dream experience, no physical objects, no subtle objects. There are no objects, except there's only the absence of these objects, which is presented to consciousness. And that's deep sleep. That's general anesthesia. Yeah, it is. We think the ordinary way of understanding general anesthesia is we have knocked out your consciousness. Vedanta would say you have knocked out all objects from consciousness. That's why there's nothing to experience there. So suppose if you take that, if you assume that's all right, it can be debated. Just assume that's all right. But my point is different. In deep sleep, in the experience of absence, what is experiencing absence? Consciousness is experiencing what? Nothing. But that means consciousness continues. You are the one who will wake up. Once the mind starts functioning, once the body starts functioning, you will wake up and we will stretch and we will say, I slept nicely. I slept like a log. I didn't know anything. I was so happy and blissful. In Sanskrit, Sukham maham aswapsama nakinchi davedisham. I slept happily. I did not know anything. Who claims it? The ego. I slept. That means in some sense, you must have been there. It's your sleep. My sleep. I don't say, I was awake. Yes, I claim that. I dreamt, yes, I claim that, those are my dreams, but I don't claim deep sleep. That's not mine. I didn't sleep. It's very strange. Will you say, I wasn't there, so how can I say I slept? I didn't sleep. If you go the other way, that no, in sleep there is no I. Nothing is there. In that case, you have to admit then after waking up all the time, every time we wake up from deep sleep, we are created anew. After every deep sleep, new person. Very strange. So, I slept. I did not know anything. I did not see, hear, smell, taste, touch anything. I did not think anything. I did not remember anything. I did not even say I am sleeping. So, that is the experience of the self without body and without mind also. Again, grandfather, no teeth. Therefore, by the method of agreement and difference, I will say, there are experiences of the self without body, dreams. There are experiences of the self without body and mind, deep sleep. Therefore, the self is not essentially body-mind. If the self was body, you could not experience it without the body. If the self was mind, you could not experience it without the mind. Therefore, self is not body, not mind. This is the first time deploying this argument, but it's a very ancient argument. This is called the method of agreement and difference. Presence and absence, co-presence and absence. Anvaya Vyatireka in Sanskrit. Anyway, the point being, Atimuchya, we transcend. I am not body, not mind. Now we understand when Shankaracharya sings, Mano buddhya hankara chitta ninaham. I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the memory, I am not even the ego. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. I am of the nature of consciousness and bliss. I am Shiva, I am Shiva.